I'm with Fabienne van Eyck and Ahmad Azza from Musicians Without Borders. Now, Fabienne, what is Musicians Without Borders?
Musicians Without Borders is an international organization that brings music to places that are divided by war and conflict.
And what is your vision?
Our vision specifically in Palestine is to help children find back the music, to help them be creative, to express themselves through musical activities.
Now, Ahmad, can music bring healing in a war zone like Israel-Palestine?
Of course, music can bring healing to any human being, and we believe in music will make people all the time in a better situation.
And who do you teach and where do you teach?
We usually train adults in how to use music in their daily work. So we do this all over the West Bank. Either they come to us, we are based in Bethlehem, or we go to outreach places, to isolated villages in the south, in the north, to refugee camps, basically everywhere in the West Bank. And in addition to this, we give workshops to the children. We reach around 5,000 children a year who participate in our workshops, and this also all over the West Bank, mostly in isolated villages and refugee camps.
Would they not have access to music if you didn't do this?
I guess most of the kids will still have access to music on television, for example, or during weddings, but through real music education, most of them don't have access. We are specifically looking for the places where there's no music education, and we are also trying to reach out to children that would never get music, such as deaf children. We do programs with children with special needs, with blind children, to offer them music programs.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do you do work with people with disabilities? It must be a joy to actually work with disabled children.
Yes, and especially since we also train some deaf people how to use music. So this is a great example for the children and young people with disabilities, that they see that their workshop leader is deaf herself and she can do music. So if she can do that, for sure they can do it as well.
So they respond really, really well to music?
Yes, yes. Especially the one that have children that are non-verbal, they can communicate still through music. Deaf children discover a completely new world when they do music with us, because they realize that even if they cannot actually hear it, they can feel the music.
And what sort of music do Palestinians like?
Usually Palestinians would like the folklore music, which is part of the Palestinian culture and heritage. But music in Palestine is something popular, and it is part of our history, part of our culture. So people will be singing while they are sad. They will sing also when they are happy. So music is part of our nature in Palestine. So I cannot really say what exactly kind of music would they like, but I guess some music that would touch their hearts more than other music. And what we do is a community music that comes also from the culture. So we don't bring something from abroad and just drop it to Palestinian, but actually we let them bring their music on their own.
And what sort of instruments are traditionally Palestinian?
We have something like flute, and we have oud, we have percussion, tabla. These very famous. We have qanun, of course. I'm speaking on the popular level. Now also there are many instruments that they are using it on a classical level. But like if you go to villages, we have something called yarghul. Yarghul is something like flute, very famous. Yes, so this kind of different music, and as you know, like a human being are different moods and different taste. So everyone has his own taste with the music, but in the end, music is not something, sometimes music is part of art. So it is not necessarily to understand it, but most important to feel it.
So when they're doing these projects, can they produce a CD of their music that they've made?
It depends completely on which program, because in many of the programs we don't use instruments, we use maybe sticks for rhythm games, or we use papers, for example, to make sounds from papers. We use body percussion, we use our voice. This kind of workshops are not meant to produce CD, but we have a rap program where we work with young rappers who give music workshops, rap music workshops, to children, again in isolated villages, in refugee camps. They did several programs with deaf children, with blind children. So from these songs the children learn how to write their own rap songs in the workshops, and then at the end we have a very simple studio we built in the Heysha camp. So in the end of the program the children come to the studio and they record their songs. So we have a kind of big selection now of songs, and from this we would love to make a CD.
Does poverty stop people from participating in music?
In our workshops not, because all our workshops are for free, so anyone can participate, but for sure it will stop children from going to an expensive music school. I mean, if they cannot pay that, they cannot go to the music school. But it won't stop them from joining our activities because it's for free.
Now, Ahmad, can music bring peace?
Of course, music mainly will bring the inner peace, and once you have inner peace, you will be able to build outside peace.
Do you see a change in the young people's lives as they develop and work with the program?
If we just, for example, we have a program where we visit the school, we work with all the classes and then we bring them all outside and we do one big performance outside with all the kids. So then we see a change between the morning and the afternoon, because in the morning children can be very timid or a bit afraid, and in the afternoon they're all happy and laughing and singing and making music. So this is of course not a big change, but that's just a small change over the day. Now the children that we work with throughout the years and the young workshop leaders, with them for sure we see a change. I mean, we have examples of children that didn't speak in the school, and the first time they let us hear their voice was during the music lessons. They started singing with us. We have children that are wetting their bed at night, and they stop doing that on the days after the music workshops. So with children we do see a change if we work with them for a longer time. And with adults we see a change because when they are in our program we ask a lot from them, a lot of commitment, a lot of discipline, and this changes their whole life, especially when they come from a very unstructured background.
Do you see people rising up and becoming leaders through the program?
Yes, and especially because they see what an amazing effect it has on the children and how much happiness they can bring, and this makes them very proud of themselves, and this makes them an important person in their community, in their family, so they get much more self-respect.
Is non-violence an important part of the message that you're trying to get through, and does it have an effect on the youth?
Yes, I believe so, especially since everything we do is non-violence. The whole way we communicate with the children, we use a lot of non-verbal language, positive body language. This is already non-violence way of communication. We show the teachers how you can communicate with the children without using any violence, without using a loud voice. We show how you can calm down the children just using body language. And maybe Ahmad can say some more about the bigger picture of non-violence.
Yes, I believe what we do, non-violence is a main component of the message that we are trying to do. It's the main component of our vision, because we believe if we combine music and non-violence, we could be, we will have a very creative tool that could have a different influence and bigger influence on the community and on the society to change on different level, economically, socially and politically.
And why do you do what you do?
I guess the work gives a lot of positive feedback. You see immediately results. You see, of course, not always easy. We go to very difficult places, but at the same time you get the joy of music every time again and again, and you can share this with the children and the young people. So I guess that this positive feedback that you get constantly helps me to continue doing this work.
And what's your prayer for the kids as they go through this sort of project?
I hope for them that they will become resilient enough to face all the challenges they will have in their future life. And I hope that the music will help them to find this resilience inside themselves.
And you have a website for people who'd like to know more?
Yes, the main website is Musicians Without Borders, so that's www.musicianswithoutborders.org.
Great, Fabienne and Ahmad, thank you very much.
Thank you.